On today's menu is a vegan version of tikka masala, and I assure you that if you follow this recipe step by step, everyone will love having this. And I don't know, this is my feeling, and my family members also agree that this tastes even better than chicken tikka masala. Namaskar and welcome to Curries with Bumbi. This recipe is divided into 3 parts. First is making the vegetable tikka. The second part involves making the sauce. And then the chapter comes to a close by mixing the tikkas with the sauce. So let's start with making the vegetable tikka. I have used bell peppers of different colors and keep the pieces big like this. Then onion, which I have quartered and taken them out like petals. Since it's a vegan recipe, so I have used tofu, but you can use paneer if not on a vegan diet. And as I said earlier, cut the tofu into large pieces as well. And some cauliflower florets. But for cauliflower, do not keep the florets too big because then it will take time to get tender. Sprinkle just a teaspoon of turmeric powder, salt and black pepper followed by a drizzle of oil and juice of 1 small lemon or lime. Mix everything well and then I am going to skewer them. You can use a metal or bamboo skewer. If using bamboo, dip the skewers in water for some time before using them. In that way, they won't burn. And whenever you skewer all these vegetables, be very careful that you don't get poked by the end of the skewer. So here I am done and I will be using up these small bits later on in the recipe. Place the skewers balancing them on the rim of a baking tray. Next, I place them under the broiler of my oven under full heat and broil it on high for 10 to 15 minutes. Please check in between to see that nothing is burning. Oven temperatures vary and you may see that it's getting burnt, so please take them out if you are seeing that it's getting burnt. In a separate pan or pot, heat 2 tablespoons of oil on medium heat. Once the oil turns hot, lower the heat and add 8 green cardamoms and 4 cloves. Then add onions. Give a brief stir and then add a tablespoon of ginger garlic paste. Fry on medium heat till the onions become a bit pale. Next, remember those remnant bell peppers that found no place on the skewers? I added those. After frying for a few minutes, switch off the heat and let these cool down completely before blending them. In my blender jar, I added a can of crushed tomatoes. If you want to use fresh tomatoes, fry them along with the onions and then add everything in your blender jar and puree to a smooth paste. I added the fried onions and bell peppers to my blender jar. I added those remnant tofu as well and blended everything to a smooth paste. The veggies are also done and love how they've developed these slight charred edges just like you get in a tandoor, but do not allow them to get too charred up. Okay, now we will make the sauce, or gravy as it is called in India. Heat about 3 tablespoons of oil on medium heat. Once the oil is hot, I added half a teaspoon of cumin seeds and half a teaspoon of nigella seeds, also known as onion seeds or kalonji. Always lower the heat when adding whole spices to prevent them from getting burnt. I love the nutty flavor of nigella seeds, and combined with the earthy flavor of cumin, it really smells great. Next is spice time. A teaspoon of turmeric powder, a heaped teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili powder. If you are new to Kashmiri chili powder, though it is mild in terms of heat, but I would still suggest adding less to start with. I also added a tablespoon of ground coriander, that is dhania powder, and a teaspoon of ground cumin, that is jeera powder. Give a stir just for 2 to 3 seconds and then add the pureed tomato onion mixture. Again give a stir and cover it on low heat for a minute. Next, I love adding a can of cooked chickpeas. You can also use the water from the can, but I like discarding it and rinsing the chickpeas a little before adding. Add salt to taste. Next, a very interesting ingredient, almond butter. I learned this trick from one of my viewers and I absolutely love the idea of adding almond butter. If you do not want to use almond butter, you can soak some cashew nuts in hot water for about an hour and then puree them along with the tomatoes and onions. Now you must be thinking, can I use peanut butter? Sure you can. If you are allergic to nuts, just leave them out, or you can mash some chickpeas and add to get that thickness. Next in line is a can of unsweetened coconut milk. I added about 1/3 of a cup of hot water to the can and added. Pull out all the veggie tikkas from the skewers and add to the gravy. Then 2 teaspoons of kasuri methi, that is dried fenugreek leaves, which brings in that beautiful flavor, followed by a teaspoon of my homemade aromatic shahi garam masala. You can also use regular garam masala powder, but if you follow my recipe for shahi garam masala, you will be really amazed by its fragrance. Cover it on low heat and let it simmer away for 12 minutes. In between, give a stir. After 12 minutes, do a taste test and adjust the seasonings. I felt the need to add a teaspoon of sugar to balance the flavors. You can also use honey. And look at this beauty. There are so many flavors hidden in there. The tofu are like small pillows of love. The peppers and cauliflower give a little crunch, and the chickpeas bring in an interesting texture and body to the gravy. And that gravy, it is finger-licking good. Add a good amount of chopped coriander leaves or any herb of your choice, and you are done. Serve this with naan, roti, rice or pulao. Drizzle some thick coconut milk on top along with some chopped coriander leaves. Please give me a thumbs up and do leave a comment for me.